Hi guys, welcome back to Spice Channel TV. Thank you for always joining us. If you're coming out here for the first time, please kindly subscribe and don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Thank you. The Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, has voiced his disappointment at a recent lecture by Mike Ozekhome San that failed to acknowledge any progress made in the country. And in a video posted by Channels Television, Nyesom Wike expressed his expectation that the lecturer would have also highlighted some achievements amidst the criticisms. He questioned how it was possible to conclude that there are no progress since the 25 years of our democracy. No progress has been made in 25 years, citing examples of past struggles and detentions, by some certain persons, the likes of Sani, who claimed that back then, when he was fighting for his struggle, he was detained on several occasions. According to him, he expected Mike Ozekhome to acknowledge that Nigeria has made quite some sustainable amount of progress ever since we regained our democracy, and it's been over 25 years now. I'm sure the country must have made some certain progress. So according to Wike has questioned these moves by Mike Ozekhome for not acknowledging the progress made in Nigeria so far, only looking at the bad side, also criticizing the government's criticisms here and there, but no progress being made. You see, I want to ask you some Wike one question. I know that Wike is partially APC, partially PDP, so he tends to speak with both sides of his mouth. Now, Wike haven't mentioned that Ozekhome would have talked about some progress being made in the country. Why didn't he mention the progress that has been made after 25 years? No, he should have mentioned this progress he's talking about, because I kind of watched the video where Nyesom Wike was talking about Mike Ozekhome not talking about the progress being made in Nigeria. He would have listed those progress so that we would know the progress he's talking about. He would have listed it himself, since Mike Ozekhome, I beg your pardon, failed to mention those progress. Maybe he forgot to mention those progress. But then, Nyesom Wike would have, mentioned it in his place, instead of pointing fingers and criticizing Mike Ozekhome. Now, Nyesom Wike, being the FCT minister, tends to want to speak in favor of this current administration and all of that. But Wike should also try to see the truth and speak the truth. We know that Nigeria has been a mess for long, not even now. So each year we celebrate the Democracy Day, June 12th, we celebrate Democracy Day, but that day ought to be a day of reflection. For Nigerians, it's a day of reflection rather than a day of celebration, because we tend to reflect how we've spent these years of democracy and nothing to show for it, all because of bad leadership. Because of bad leadership, we have absolutely nothing to show for it. So, thus meaning that no progress has been made. Instead, we are depreciating as a nation. Instead of Nigeria to appreciate, we are depreciating. We are being faced with bad leadership in this country, and our politicians are not helping matters in any way. They are not helping matters. The Nigerian political leaders are the root cause of the problems we are facing in this country. That's why it looks like we don't even have democracy in Nigeria, because of the things we are seeing, the political struggles here and there, politicians trying to focus on electoral victory, and their loyalty doesn't even lie with the masses. Their loyalty lies with themselves. It lies with their political godfathers. It lies with their ambition. They are heavily concerned about elections, and they don't care about the masses. Their primary objective is to make sure that they win the election, and afterwards they start embezzling money, corruption takes over, and they don't even talk about development and good governance for the people of this great nation. And they tend to do all things. They spend billions of naira trying to contest for a political office, only to collect that sum of money times 100 of what they've spent, because they know that yes, they've spent a lot. So they wouldn't want to lose out in this. They will try to look for all means to make sure they get their money in return, in double, in hundreds of folds, in thousands of folds, which is not a good way to go. And this has been a cycle in our Nigerian politics. This has been a vicious cycle in our Nigerian politics. So I would have loved Wike to, identify those progress being made in Nigeria, so that we can know maybe we are not seeing those progress. Maybe Mike Ozekhome did not see those progress before he gave his presentation. I mean, had it been Mike Ozekhome saw those progress, he would have mentioned one or two, but he didn't see any progress. So, my country people, it depends on Nyesom Wike's, thinking capacity, because I tend to look at how Wike would be so comfortable, speaking lies, trying to cover up the truth. I mean, what progress, the only progress we've seen so far is looting by politicians, future generations of wealth by, looting of future generations of wealth by some certain few politicians. I mean, we've seen 25 years of wasted resources, wasted progress, nothing to show for it. Nothing is working. Yes, people tend to say that things are working, but now the politicians come and they destroy everything. To an extent, they try to bring people against each other, all because of what? Because of power. So I think we have nothing. We don't have anything to show for these 25 years of democracy. Wike should try to be, truthful. I mean, he shouldn't be a praise singer. Who is he trying to impress? Is he the president? Is Wike trying to impress the president or the previous president or the past administrations? Because we are not talking about Tinubu's administration alone. We are talking about the previous administration, even, right from when we got our independence. So my country people, Nigeria ought to be in a better place by now. We ought to be in a better place by now. But because of bad leadership, I mean, we've not made any progress so far. We've had nothing to show for it. And the same news on Wike, who is talking about Nigeria making progress, is among those politicians causing crisis in Rivers State. Look at what he's doing in Rivers State. No, look at what he is doing in Rivers State. So that kind of person making this kind of statement, well, I never expected this from Nyesom Wike. But I must say, we've not, even if we've made progress, I mean, we've not made tangible progress for good 25 years. For good 25 years, Nigeria has been languishing in pain, in agony, in suffering, hardship, poverty, hunger for good 25 years. No progress to show for it. No progress at all. So Wike should note this. So Wike should note this. I know a lot of people might say, oh, they've been progress. Well, you can share your thoughts on this in the comment section. Thank you.